Hi, so I'm here today with Emily Hughes, author of GCSE Survival Guide for Parents, and a book that she's just written. So, Emily, tell us tell us a bit about your latest book.
Well, um, yeah, I run the parent guide to GCSE. So I was a teacher for 15 years and then decided that my sanity was more important than my salary and quit, and was desperately trying to find something that I could do that used my skills in the same sort of way, but without having to be in a school situation. And had a bit of an epiphany one day. My daughter's in year six. There's a year six parents Facebook group, and one of the parents had posted this, how on earth do I help my daughter with this bar modeling homework? And a
Yeah.
light bulb went off. Nobody's helping parents. Why is nobody helping parents? Because 50% of their learning time is spent at home.
Yeah.
So we set up this membership for parents, and it basically just supports them, holds their hands all the way through. Because I've been there and I've done it with my own kids, with thousands of students. I know why they procrastinate, and I know how to get them past that.
Uh-huh.
And I know why they resort to reading their notes because it's easiest. And I
Yeah.
know why that isn't the best way to do it and the most effective way. I know that.
Yes.
And I know that when parents know that, it makes a massive difference. So the membership kind of supports people through on a week by week basis all the way through, but that's not for everyone. And we only open it once a year.
Yeah.
So I figured we're coming towards the end of our first year now.
Uh-huh.
Now is probably the time to distill some of the wisdom and put it together in one place. So there is a go-to reference for parents to just like, this is what I need to know. Here's what I've got to expect.
Yeah.
Just to take the stress out of it, because it is just as stressful for parents as it is for kids, because you watch them go through it and you kind of live it vicariously through them, and you feel their pain and you can't do anything about it, and it's so frustrating. So yeah, all together in one place means it's accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
And we can start taking some of the power back as parents to support our children without having to rely on communication from school, which can sometimes be questionable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, take back
Yeah.
some of the control.
So taking back control of children's learning, particularly right at the moment, I'm guessing, with people being at home and taking responsibility for a lot more of it. And so your book, does it cover things like getting children past that procrastination and past that sort of overwhelm? What's the sort of things that people
Oh,
would pick up from the book?
well, so we've got a whole chapter about
Yeah.
overwhelm called
Yes.
10 Things I Hate About Overwhelm.
Yes.
Because there's a great quote in 10 Things I Hate About You where there's two slightly ditzy girls wandering along, and one says, I know you can be overwhelmed and I know you can be underwhelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed? And she replies, I think you can in Europe. But with revision, that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for whelmed. We
Yeah.
don't want them to be overwhelmed with the amount of work. We don't want us to be underwhelmed with the
Yeah.
amount of work. So it's about getting that amount right. And it's about having a plan.
Yeah.
So I, in the book, take you through the stages
Mm-hmm.
of getting through GCSEs. So there's the preparing stage, which is more about mental preparation. It's getting their mindset right,
Yeah.
making sure that they believe that they can do it,
Mm-hmm.
and they know why they're doing it, because a lot of their motivation comes from, if they know what they're working towards, there's a point.
Yeah.
So they're more likely to do it and you're less likely to have to nag. And then it goes into the organization stage. So that's having a plan. If they've got a revision plan that takes them through, like today I'm going to do not just maths, but
Mm-hmm.
today I'm going to do adding and subtracting fractions.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it's biology and it's self-structure.
Yeah.
When it's that black and white, I mean, we know as grown-ups, if we're given something really big and airy-fairy to do, we put it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if it's rearrange the shed, where do you even start? Whereas if it's, right, today I'm going to go in and I'm going to find all the tools from in the shed and put them in the toolbox.
Yeah.
That's my step one. Those, if you can break it down into meaningful steps where it's really like, today I have to do this, it takes the guesswork out of it. It takes the option to go,
Yeah.
oh, I don't really know what to do. I'll stop now, out of
Yes.
it. So that step, the organisation step, is absolutely key. And we found when we started, making a revision plan was a giant nightmare. Like you could spend 3 days with rulers and pens and highlighters and glitter,
Yes.
maybe, making this beautiful revision plan and procrastinating and wasting 3 days worth of revision. So we've built this generator where you literally type in, here are my subjects, drop down menu, here are
Yeah.
my subjects, here are my term dates, generate me a plan.
Yeah.
And it generates you a pretty coloured
Uh-huh.
printable PDF for the whole year.
Yes.
No more excuses. So
Fantastic. I mean,
it's the little things there that make the difference with the overwhelm. And then we take you through the actual studying and the techniques and
yeah.
things. So what works, what's less effective, how to make it work, how to find the right things for your child, because everyone's a little bit different. And then the actual doing, like the mocks, and then
Yeah.
the crunch time and the stress levels, and how to help them to get into their exams feeling as confident as they can be, because that's the key. And then the final bit, the winning bit, where they've done their exams and you get to go and sit on a beach with a cocktail and relax.
Fantastic. And that's that sounds the goal. But I suppose, I mean, that sounds fantastic. I've got children about just a child about to go through that whole process. But I suppose the starting point, I suspect, for some parents is that actually just how to communicate with your child, how not to just get the response. What have you been up to? Stuff, you know,
Yeah. Grunts,
schoolwork.
shrugs, and
Leave me
eye
alone.
rolls.
Yes.
The
How do
language
you
of the
get
teenager.
past that barrier actually as a parent?
Well, what we found, which was kind of almost a surprise to us through the course of this first year of membership,
Uh-huh.
is that the biggest thing in terms of feedback that we get from parents is that when it was mum knowing everything
Yes.
and trying to get involved, that puts the barriers up.
Yes.
Kids get defensive, they don't want to talk to you about it. You get the grunts and the shrugs and the eye
Yes.
rolls. What we do with the membership is we send out the advice in a little email each
Uh-huh.
week, and they read the email together, which means it's not mum knows everything. It's
Yes.
this is what the experts say. This is how to make both our lives easier.
Yes.
We're in this together. So it's not a battle anymore because you're on the same side.
Got you,
So you can kind of do that to an extent with the book as well. Like let's talk about so and so. It says here we've got to do this.
Yeah.
So taking it out of the parent, I don't know, almost having the authority, because we don't like that as teenagers.
Completely.
Like, I tell
No
the
one wants to be
story.
told what to do. Yeah.
No, my mum told me that I should read the Harry Potter books because I'd love them. So I did not read the Harry Potter books for like 2 years, and I was an adult at the time. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
I just didn't want her to be right. And I have quite a good relationship with my mum. But yeah, it's kind of, it's almost taking the parent out of the equation so that it's us against revision, not parent against child.
Yes.
Is what they think it is.
That would be a fantastic position to get to, where you're actually on the same side as your child and facing it together. It's so difficult, isn't it, to try and get them to see things that way and trying to see that you're on their side.
It's one of the early chapters is about the teenage brain, because what I think we fall into the trap of as parents of teenagers, because I've got twin 18-year-olds who should have been doing their A-levels this year, we feel like we've just done a terrible job raising them. When they do something awful or they tell you they hate you or whatever, we feel like it's our fault. It's just us. It's not. It's the teenage brain. So the brain develops from the back to the front. So this is your kind of your reptile brain and your like fight or flight kind of stuff. The decision-making part, the sensible bit, like the designated driver of your brain. These are your drunk friends in Vegas. This is the designated driver keeping like, no, you don't want to text your ex. No. That bit develops last. So as a teenager, your drunk friends in Vegas are running the show, and that's why they don't make the sensible choices all the time, and that's why they take the risks, because their brain just hasn't finished developing yet. And it's nothing to do with you as a parent. It's just the journey that they all go through, and we all, I think, blame ourselves for that kind of stuff. We feel like it's our fault. It's not your fault. It's just a teenager thing. They grow out of it. There's no cure though.
Yes, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure that's right. So actually getting through to them, even on the little things, on the things that matter in terms of schoolwork and that sort of thing, make a huge difference. Yes.
Definitely.
Excellent. And how have things been since the launch of the book? Because it's only, how long has it been out now?
It went out on the 1st of July, so really not long. It felt like forever, but it's been a proper whirlwind. There's been all sorts going on. I managed to get a celebrity to write my foreword at the very last minute, so there was frantic scrambling to get everything done and ready. And yesterday I had one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had,
Yeah.
where I got to interview uh, Sinetra Sarkar, who was in Casualty and Strictly Come
Yes.
Dancing. She's on Active Bridge at the moment.
Yes.
She's on Celebrity Gogglebox, which I watched the other week. And then I'm chatting to her on Zoom.
Yes.
It was surreal, but she's read the book and has absolutely loved it. So it
Brilliant.
was really lovely to be
Yes.
able to kind of get her feedback from the point of view of a year 10 parent
Yes, of course.
who's got a boy going through this, and so she's struggling with all the same things that we are.
Yeah, there'll be a
So
lot of
yeah.
people in the same place, I would think. And in terms of your background, and what got you into writing? What was your background before becoming an author?
Well, I was a maths teacher. So
Uh-huh.
as a child, I knew I
Yes.
always wanted to be a teacher. It was
Yes.
either a teacher or sing in the West End.
Okay.
Didn't happen. Um,
There's still time.
and it was always
Yes.
teaching, like, all the way through school.
Yes.
I, as a sixth former, used to help out in year 9, year 8 classes
Yes.
as a TA and things. That's what I wanted to do. I went to university and I did a degree in maths with education.
Uh-huh.
I've been there and I've done it, and I
Yes.
know my stuff. And then I did 15 years as a teacher and a head of maths and a lead
Yes.
practitioner. And then I had a bit of a mental health wobble and decided that, as I said, sanity was more important than salary.
Yes.
And tried various things, school adjacent,
Uh-huh.
uh, just supporting teachers in various different ways until this epiphany happened. So the author thing really kind of slightly came out of the blue. I
Yes.
wrote a terrible children's book that never went anywhere, or it has just sat in my computer forever when I was at uni.
Yes.
So I've always loved to write,
Yes.
but I'd never kind of done anything with it. But when you run a business, you spend so much time writing emails and copy for your website and things that actually the writing part didn't seem daunting anymore.
Yes.
And I thought, you know what, it's silly not to just put all of this down in one place.
Uh-huh.
It's such a logical thing to do, to be able to then pass the knowledge on,
Yes.
that I really should stop procrastinating and do it.
Well, congratulations on doing it. It sounds fantastic, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic resource for a lot of parents out there, particularly those going through GCSEs, just about to start, or the children just about to start GCSEs. So it's I can see it's just up behind you with a pink cover. So
Indeed, a
is it
very pink cover.
is it on where would people find it? It's on Amazon
It
right
is
now.
on Amazon right now, so you can get the paperback for $9.99 or the Kindle for $4.99, unless you're a member of Kindle Unlimited, in which case you can get it for free.
You can get it for free. You can download it for
Yeah,
free and set your
and read
mind
it
at ease
for free.
as a parent and take your children through the take your children through the process.
Indeed, and
Um,
it's written sort of by a parent for parents.
yes,
It's really easy to read. It's short and to the point, and light-hearted. It's not some academic textbook. So I promise, if you enjoy Friends references and references to songs from Frozen, about which there is an entire chapter, you'll see why when you get there. Then you'll enjoy the book.
fantastic, excellent, Emily. Thank you very much, and yeah, look forward to reading it.